Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to The Guy Who Sews, Brekkie with The Guy Who Sews. And I would like to bring on my very special guest, Dawn from My Quilt Projects. This has been a something that we've wanted to do for a while, and just scheduling has gotten in the way, but we've finally been able to secure a date together. So I'm very excited to have Dawn with us today. So say good morning to everybody, Dawn, and just let us know a little bit about yourself, your YouTube channel, and what you get up to.
Well, my name's Dawn, and I'm not sure how many years I've been on YouTube. I've been on there a while, and very informally. Most of the time, you didn't see me in the videos. I'm not really tech savvy. I like to help people, and so I've posted videos on how to clean your wool mat. Trying to think what all I've posted some silly videos with like throwing quilt blocks down. I've also done a lot of free motion quilting at the machine and some ruler quilting at the long arm machine. Those are predominantly my videos for now, but I plan on growing this into sewing machine maintenance and helping people with their sewing machines. And quilt alongs. I just got done with a quilt along that has taken a huge amount of time. And that was very successful. Very happy with it.
Yeah, and that's something that I want to do, is that churn dash that you just referred to. I wanted to do it along with you when you did it, but like I always have 10,000 things going on. So,
Yeah.
but I am going to make a conscious effort to do that in the very near future, because it's just such a fun project. So if you haven't checked out Dawn's channel, definitely do so, and check out the Churn Dash Quilt Along, because that's also on your blog, right? On WordPress, is that correct?
Yes. myquiltprojects.wordpress.com. I've been blogging now for about 8 years, and you can go back that whole time and see all the content that I've done. Lots and lots of stuff.
Yeah, and I like that blog. I was looking at it last night a little bit, and she has so many photos, and the details of your instructions are just immaculate. So
Thank you.
You know, I think that's really good, because sometimes like videos are great. Sometimes having the photo where you can just sit there and look at it, it still has very much still has its place in today's technology. And the way that, like you said, you've put a lot of time into it, and it shows, because your instructions are fantastic.
Thank you. I was a little worried about that. Yeah, I was a little worried about that.
Yeah, and anytime that, like, I've only done a few tutorials, but anything like that takes a lot longer than you first envision. Like, you sit there and think to yourself, okay, well, it's a 10-minute video, it's going to take me 20 minutes to record, and no, it's like a whole lot longer. And anybody else that's done these tutorials, Stephen Bland, I'm sure, can attest to this, among others, that it takes a whole lot longer. Like my t-shirt quilt series took forever to do, and I'm very, very proud of what I've done, but yeah, it wasn't the few hours that I thought it was going to take.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is just go through the chat real quick and say good morning or good evening to everybody, because Janet's here from Western Australia, so it's getting fairly late for her. I think morning for everybody else. Lisa from the Beehive Buzz is here. Good morning. Good morning, Jeannie. Sean from the Moldy Lasagna is here. Doreen, Stephen is here. Maddie Barnum is here. Good morning, Brenda. Amy, Joyce is here. Cynthia, Janet, we've said good evening to. Amy C. Brenda Foley says, oh my gosh, that churn dash is amazing. And Nancy Gus, and I think I got everybody, but if I missed anybody, I apologize, and just say hey. And if you have any questions or anything else like that, tag me like at The Guy Who Sews, because then that way it comes up in the chat to me as orange, and it makes it easier for me to see. Stephen says, yes, especially the editing process. That's why I never edit, which is obvious on my videos. LOL. I don't really notice that his videos aren't edited, but he's just upfront about it. I don't edit, and that's cool. Like, you do you on your channel. It's your channel. You do what you want, and your viewers, love you for who you are. Whether you do editing or not. I enjoy the editing process, so I will do it. But if you don't want to, don't do it. Nothing wrong with that. So, but we're doing whips today. Do you want to show us what you are working on today, Dawn?
Yes. So what is behind me? This is called Millefiori by Willie Hammerstein, and it's all English paper piecing. It's a very intricate pattern. I've had it for a couple of years. It's a lingering UFO, and I decided to get it out. I was stuck right here. I didn't know what to put next. And I got out my stupid popsicle fabric and I fussy cut them. And then I found some blue fabric that matched and it worked. So we used popsicles on that one.
I think it looks stunning. It's
Yeah.
paper piecing is something like I've done FPP, and it's fun, but it's not my calling. But I will do more FPP projects in the future. But something that intricate is not something that I really want to do anytime soon. I think at some point I would like to, but it's not on my short list right now. Good morning, Fallon. Good to see you. And it looks like Joyce Baker has joined us as well. And then I'm going to be working on what I call my blue and gray quilt. You guys have seen this on previous episodes. And have I got it the right way up today? Yes, I have. Good for me. So I'm going to try and add a few more rows to this today, if at all possible. So I was telling Dawn beforehand, I'm supposed to have this quilt top made, bound, quilted, and everything else by next Friday. Whether that's going to happen or not, who knows? So we'll see what happens. So apparently, I need to get sewing and not talk as much. So we'll see what happens there. Fallon says, wow, Dawn, absolutely beautiful. I just started trying to learn English paper piecing. I am nowhere near that level. And that might be something good for you to do on your channel, is maybe do some basic tutorials on English paper piecing, because there's a lot of stuff out there for FPP, but I've not seen much on EPP. So
I'm trying to think of the channel. There is a channel that does all of this. Trying to think what it's called. Is it
sure.
EPP Addicts Anonymous? I don't remember what it's called, but they actually do this pattern. I'm not good enough yet. I'm good enough at selecting fabrics, but I'm not good enough yet to show close-ups because my stitches show and they're not supposed to. And I cannot for the life of me figure out what I'm doing wrong. So I'm hoping as I sew this, I'm going to refine that and then I'll be able to do something with it.
Yeah, but I think in some ways it might be good to just have a go, start and learn along with everybody else. Maybe some Zoom calls or some lives or something like that. We all learn together.
Yeah. Maybe I just need to put out a short that says, why are my stitches showing? Help.
Yeah. And that's great too. Like I've always found that the audience has such a wealth of knowledge. If I have a piece of fabric or a technique that I'm not sure about, I'm not afraid to say, hey, what do you guys think? Because they come up with some really, really neat ideas. So,
yes.
Use the resources that you have available to you is what I've always felt like. And I think the audience does such a fantastic job of telling us, because between us all, we have many, 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 many years of experience.
That's exactly right.
Fallon says, Joyce, it's so relaxing to sit and hand stitch, listening to audio books or watching TV. I've always said that I'm not a hand piecer, which I'm not. And for the longest time I said I didn't want to learn, but the more I think about it, the more I think it would be fun to learn. So that might be something I need to teach myself in the next year. Plus I need to learn how to close the mitered corners on my quilts for the quilt show anyway. So that was one of the things they told me I was bad at.
Yeah, that's so bizarre because I've never heard of that. That must have been the judge's preference. I looked it up and it actually is listed on the APQS website as a legit thing, but that's the only place I saw mention of that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I'm going to learn how to do it between here and next September, because, you know, if they look for it this year, they're probably going to look for it next year. And if not, I think it just looks more polished on the back anyway, regardless of whether I want it or not. So, yeah, if nothing else, I think I've learned that it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Amy says that she enjoys EPP. There's a 3-part series on Fat Quarter Shop that Tula did teaching EPP. That's really good. Also, Kate at the last Homely House has some good EPP tutorials as well. Yeah, she's such a lovely lady, and she is someone that I would like to have on the channel here at some point. So,
oh, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, I have reached out to her, and she's, yeah, obviously like everybody else is really busy at the moment, but, you know, maybe, just maybe, we can organize something in the near future. So we shall see. Steve, I love Stevens for so many reasons, but I always love his comments. He says hand sewing is bloodletting for me. There is never a dull moment when Stephen is here. So, all right, Bettina Fink says, hey, everybody. Maddie Barnum, yes, okay. Fallon says that she learned so much from the comments on her videos, and I agree. Like, I love seeing the comments for so many reasons on mine. But yeah, I learned so much as well on that. And Steve says Kate's taking a break from family things, but said she'll be back in the new year. Yeah. She's she's such a lovely lady. I don't get to watch her videos as much as I'd like to, but she's very, very popular just because she's such a lovely lady. So good morning, Janine. It's good to see you.
Good morning, everyone. I forgot to say that earlier.
That's okay. Well, you said this is your first live with someone else, correct?
Yes.
Whereas I'm pretty much used to it now because I do it every week.
You're a pro, Sean. You are a pro.
No, I don't know if I'd go that far yet, but a well-rehearsed rookie is how I'd pronounce it. All right, let's see.
All of the content creators right now making all their Vlogmas and Quiltmas, and I tell you what, that is so much work, but dang, it's so enjoyable to watch. Some of the creativity of just a very short video, it's amazing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, I've really enjoyed doing it this year because Vlogmas is kind of how I started off my channel, because I started last November. I did one podcast and then I did Vlogmas just as a way to get some camera time, because I am probably one of the most introverted people on earth. And so doing this terrified me, but I did it for accountability because I watched Amanda's knitting vlogs, podcasts and stuff with her. And I mean, all these people are getting projects done. I'm like, do I need to be a content creator in order to get a project done? I'm like, well, yeah, we'll see what happens with this. And yeah, so I jumped straight into Vlogmas. And if you watch last year's videos, you can see just how stiff and nervous and everything else I am. But this year, like, I'm having a blast with it. I really just enjoy getting on each day, and I keep it short. I mean, they're about 3 to 4 minutes. So they're not long because, you know, like you said, there's so many videos out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time. Janet's asking what everyone is working on today. She's doing her Scrappiness is Happiness quilt block by Laurie Holt. I keep thinking about buying that book, but haven't taken the plunge yet. If anyone has that book, let me know what you think of it, because I'm trying to decide if it's something I need to buy or not. Where'd it go? Here it is. Good morning, Jim. Good to see you. Janine says she is enjoying April's Quiltmas news report. She cracks me up. She is a funny lady. I really enjoy her. I haven't seen her Vlogmas post. I didn't know she was doing them. So I'm going to have to go check that out later on today when I have 5 minutes. And then if you haven't seen the 12 Days of Quiltmas that a lot of the content creators are doing, I believe Fallon did her part last night. So definitely go ahead and check out that video from last night. I need to catch up on that as well. Let's see. Okay, so Jeannie's baking Christmas cookies, so I know where I'm going after this. Stephen says he's working on the hoop table runner on my embroidery machine. Christine is working on the Art East pattern Goats and Pajamas. My goats are free range piece in the top to get. I love that company. That's the one that's I bought the pattern for the Mythical Darksons, which I really need to work on some more of these. That's one of them. Yeah, Art East is I love that company. So if you haven't checked them out, definitely do so. They have a quilt along right now that I'm very interested in. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to spend 55 Canadian dollars on the quilt along or not, but we'll see. Stephen says he's off to an in-person sew day with his husband at about 9:30 this morning. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun for you, Stephen. I hope you enjoy that. Yeah, Fallon says that it was fun to finally share her project. She's had to keep quiet on that one as well while she was doing that. And that's the hard part, is like you come up with these great events and everything else, but it's the prep work, and you just you ache to show everybody. But yeah, you have to stay, sometimes you want to keep it a surprise until the end, and it's not easy to do. Good morning, Donna. It's good to see you. I wondered where you were. So how long have you been quilting for altogether, Dawn?
It started, the itch got me when my grandmother passed away. So that was in 94. I didn't speak up to the family and ask for her clothing, but I wanted to make a memory quilt, and I let everything go to Salvation Army because that's what Grandpa wanted. I didn't want to upset him. And then I started dabbling with sewing tops together, and then because that was really before the internet, I didn't know what to do with them, and so they just were in my stash. And then one day I had a garage sale, and I just got tired of looking at them, and I knew how much money I had in the fabric, so I sold the tops for that. I wish now I had those tops back, because then I could quilt them. I should have saved them, but that's I've been religiously doing it since about 2003.
Okay.
Where
so
at least I do a couple a year, and now I'm doing way more than a couple of years. So
that's really neat. Yeah, I think I think I started in 2013. So yeah, you've been doing a lot longer than I have.
yeah, and I'm self-taught, so everything that I did, I probably did the wrong way or the hard way. Like those first quilt tops, because I had originally could sew clothes, I didn't know that there was such a thing as a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So all of those tops had 5/8 seam allowance.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, but to me, like every quilt's a learning experience, whether you do it right, wrong, or indifferent. It's.
Yep.
And I know I say that a lot on my channel, but I am a huge believer of that. Like, your first quilt's not going to be perfect. It's not going to win, it's not going to win the best quilt and show, but you're not going to learn, you're not going to get to where you are today if you don't start. I think there was I'm doing the cotton cuts thing, the opening, and I think one of the little things that they had in there, like they have an inspirational quote each day, and one of them was like, yeah, you can't finish unless you started, or something along those lines. I'd have to go back and look. So Donna's always busy. I mean, I don't know when that woman sleeps, or if she sleeps. She might have some sort of magic pill where you don't have to. because she's always up to about 1 million different things. And apparently she was doing a jelly roll race, and then Steve wanted to know if she won the race. Knowing Donna, she probably did. Christine is prepping her elephant pattern for her solo along. That's a lot of fun too. If you haven't checked out Donna's elephant FPP solo along, definitely do so. That thing looks way more complicated than I want to attack, especially at the hours that they do that, because it's late at night and I am not a night person. And I'm really hoping I'm putting this together correctly. Really, really, really hoping. All right. Let's see if I did this right. I hope so. We don't need Jack out this early in the morning. Okay, looks like I might have done it right. How about that?
For those of you that kind of have problems keeping motivated and your things languish and you just don't pick them up after a while, I've found that if you actually sit down and make a list of just 3 things in 1 week you want to accomplish, it is so satisfying to mark that off your list as complete. And that has helped my blog. That has helped my YouTube channel, where I set goals, and it's at least 3 goals in 1 week, whether it's putting a binding on a quilt, or if it's figuring out the next fabric on one of my cogs on this pattern, or I find that I have not been doing it lately because my goal was the scrappy churn dash, but I have done that in the past, and it's very satisfying, and you get so much more accomplished just by making a list of 3 things. You would be amazed. I'm not a list maker because I have it all up here, but the fact that you can complete it, it's great. It is great.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I totally agree with you on that. And that's one of the reasons I talk about my goals and tell everyone my goals each week on my podcast for the same reasons. But the only thing I would add to that is that don't beat yourself up if you don't meet it. You know, sometimes life happens, you know, sometimes, you know, someone gets sick or work gets crazy or something like that. So, you know, set your goals, write it down like Dawn says, but if you don't meet it, forgive yourself and then just try and do it again the next week.
Or make a list of greater than 3 goals, and that way you'll meet more goals. Whereas the one goal is a big goal and you don't have the energy for it, you can still accomplish the little goals on your list and still get more done.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Yeah, Stephen says that he keeps a list for every day, and it does help, and it gives him a sense of accomplishment, and that's very, very true. Donna says she's working and playing about 20 hours a day. Total win. Okay, so apparently she did win the Jolly Roll race, so that's good. But yeah, I don't know how she does that. Fallon says she admires everybody who is so organized with task lists. I'm a fly by the seat of the pants kind of gal, LOL. And I usually am too, but I have found that doing goals for my sewing and everything else does help immensely. So even if you're a person that has it up here, try writing it down just for a week or 2 and just see if it helps. And if you try for a couple of weeks and it doesn't help, then don't do it. You know, but I think it'll help in a lot of situations. So if you've learned nothing else from me today, and Dawn, give that a go and just see how it works out for you. Fallon says she writes lists in the notebook and then can't find the notebook or forget which list it's in. I'm a man. You are not alone, Fallon. You are not alone. I had the same problem, but I'm getting better at it. So. Donna is organized to the max. Yeah, that's something for you to do too, Donna. You might need to teach us lessons on how to be more organized. because if anyone can teach me, it might be you. I mean, you taught me how to make a dress last week, so you know, maybe that's the way to go. All right. Yeah, I think I've gotten more sewing done this morning than I have all week.
I used to sew every day when I didn't have my long arm and I was quilting on my domestic. I tried to do at least 30 minutes a day, and I would sew every day, and I can't do it anymore. I'm too tired. So my weekends are all for sewing, and then I work in all the chores as well. So, and it may be just as simple as listening to your podcast or another YouTuber's channel while I'm doing laundry or doing the dishes or whatever. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just like, yeah, right now there's plenty to watch. So let's see. Brenda says that all the family members know to give me post-it notes. Janine works pretty well in chaos, and I tend to be that way a lot of times too. Amy says yes to Donna doing lessons on being more organized. I think Jim said that he tried lists, but it doesn't work for him, which is fine. You know, like, you know, it's not going to work for everybody. But, you know, give it a go. And then, yeah, if it works, great. And if not, then at least you gave it a shot. Fallon says her daughter loves lists. She showed me you can make lists and notes in iPhone. You can even check them off. I think she was trying to tell me something. Yeah, more than likely. Donna says, let's get organized Zoom. I'll share tips and tricks of you all. Yeah, so when she does that, consider joining that, because I think that'd be fun. Janine said she made a goal last year to sew every day, and I've only missed 2 days this year. That is fantastic, Janine. You know, you should really hold your head up high on that one, because yeah, that's an amazing not goal, achievement. Apparently I need more coffee. And then apparently there's a quilt journal app for iPhones. Christine's talking about. Stephen's asked what it is, what's the app called, and I'm also interested to see if it's on Android, because I don't have an iPhone. So hopefully Christine will tell us about it in just a moment.
So there is a new app. I come across this on Instagram, and it's called a Quilty Solid. Okay. And I have it downloadable for it's downloadable in the App Store for iPad and iPhone devices. And basically what it is, somebody has went in and taken the skew of the color of all the solids across all lines of fabric. So you would have AGF, you would have Bella solids from Moda. I can't think of all the ones that they have.
Oh, that's really, what was it called again?
It is called a Quilty Solid.
Quilty Solid. Okay, I'm gonna have to go check that out. You know me and solids.
So basically, it just kind of looks like this, and it has all the stuff in it. And then you can click on the actual swatch, and it'll tell you the exact color of it. Which I don't know how much that would help you unless you have ran out of fabric and you know the name of it, but you don't know the color of it. I mean, white and reds for me, when I go to buy a new bolt of white or even try and match a red, I can't do it. I have to either bring the swatch in. This would help people like me because
right. Yeah, I'm still going to take a look at it and see, you know, it may have some sort of use for me. I mean, I'm always willing to take a look, and if it doesn't suit me, I'll just go ahead and remove the app. So All right, so it looks like Donna's going to put together a Zoom for us. Fallon's going to bring her mess of papers and piles of notebooks with random scribbles to show folks how not to do it. That'll be kind of fun. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that Zoom out because I think, yeah, if nothing else, it's going to be very, very entertaining. All right. So I've almost got this row attached. And if anyone else has a channel that they'd like to have us put the links in forward, definitely let us know. Stephen has one. You can get his link by putting !Stephen. Same thing for Fallon, exclamation point Fallon, exclamation Donna for her channel. And I don't know that I have one for Dawn, but I need to add yours to the list.
Thank you.
All right, Christine's asking, is anyone doing Karen Brown's decluttering challenge? No, I didn't even know she had one, but it might be something worth looking into. So is anyone doing any projects for the holidays that need to be done in a certain amount of time like this one? Or am I the only one crazy enough to try and attempt something like that? All right, so Donna's put in, okay, she's put in all the links for me as she does for me. All right, so the quilting compound is here. Good morning. Let me go see if I can grab your channel link. There we go. Please hold. So much easier now with the handles that YouTube's put out. Oh, okay. Well, Donna beat me to it. Okay, well, I'll just let her do it because she's like the super mod and super link person. So thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. All right, let's see what else we got going on.
For those of you who go to my channel, I've just got done making this, and I have all the instructions out there for the Scrappy Turn Dash Quilt Along. It's all in my Scrappy Turn Dash Quilt Along playlist. First week, you make these 4 corners. Second week, you make these block, the turn dash in the centers, and then you start. And each one of these is a 12-inch block. And so it's a 12-inch block a week. And then those 12-inch blocks contain 6-inch blocks, 4 6-inch blocks. So if you're interested, it's all free and it's out there with templates and everything.
Yeah, I just love that. I mean, I really, really want to do that at some point in the near future. And is it all traditional piecing, or is there some FPP in there as well?
So there is one, well, no, technically, okay, so I guess you could consider, where is it? This block is a drunkard's path, but I ended up sewing it on foundation. You can sew it on foundation, but I have the templates where you can just cut it out and sew it like that. And this block is kind of like that, but again, you can just sew the strips together and then cut it down to 6.5 inches. I have this hanging wrong. It's 90 degrees off.
That's all right, though. No one's ever going to notice. I mean, I did some stuff 90 degrees off on my So Sweet quilt the other week, and I could have pulled it apart and redone it, but I was just like, I don't think it's worth the effort. But the only one's ever going to know is me. All right, so I got my fourth row on here. So we are making progress. I hope everyone can see it okay. So now we'll go to row 5. What are you eating?
How many rows is that going to be, Sean?
11.
You might make it. You might actually make it.
Yeah. We will see. If nothing else, I'll get the quilt top done and say, hey, here's your present. Come back in 2 weeks and you'll have a completed quilt.
Put an IOU in a box.
Yeah. That might be what happens yet. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I got to run out to the quilt shop later on and get some backing fabric for it because I don't have enough.
Yeah,
My only problem is, go
I'm
ahead.
trying to find backing for this and I'm not having any luck. I don't know if I'm being just too picky or what, but I can't find anything.
Yeah, I struggle with that too. A lot of times trying to find backing fabric. I'm thinking like maybe like a blue grunge or something like that might look really nice. You know, something that's not solid, but has a little bit of texture to it. What about
Yes,
the,
yes, that would work. That would actually work.
yeah. I mean, if it was me doing it, or like that sort of type of, maybe a batik might work too if you had the same sort of thing. But I think a grunge would be, yeah, if you're asking me for my opinion, and even if you aren't, you just got it. That would be my suggestion.
Well, I picked out the quilting pantograph for it. I'm gonna make raindrops on it just because there's blue in it.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it'll give it good texture, but I know I can go to the quilt store and I can buy the grunge. I know I can. But
Yeah.
can I find something else that I would like better? Probably. I don't know what that is though.
Yeah, I kind of like, you can sit there and overanalyze it for months and you'll never get it done. So yeah, my suggestion again would be is if you find something that you like, buy it and start quilting it, because otherwise it'll sit there and join the pile of stuff that never gets done.
Yeah. I think I've got 5 tops to quilt, so and none of those tops are going to be easy to do. Well, except for maybe this one.
Yeah, I won't tell you how many quilt tops I have to quilt. I mean, that's kind of probably what I need to focus on 2023 is not make so many quilt tops and actually get some of them quilted. So you all need to keep me accountable for that, okay? So I really do think that I enjoy the piecing aspect more than I do the quilting aspect.
I'm kind of ebb and flow on that because I really can get into the piecing aspect of it, but then at the same time, when I actually do quilt and I push through that, I really do enjoy it, and I enjoy it as intricate as I want to make it. I have had regrets though in the past where, especially when I was using just my regular domestic machine for quilting, I really had regrets sometimes of the pattern that I selected because it was way so intricate that it would take me months to finish it, working on it every day. It's a labor of love.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, yeah. And it's nice being able to see what different people do with the quilting aspect. I mean, I tend to be very basic. I usually stitch in the ditch from the majority of it, but I want to break out of that coming up. So, but yeah, I just love seeing what everyone does with their quilting because you guys are far more creative than I am. Let's see. Cynthia's asking why I don't press my seams as I sew because I hate ironing with a passion. I don't press unless I have to. And I'm probably naughty and I'm, you know, if the quilt police were watching, they'd probably be banging on my door in about 3 minutes saying you're bad. And that's something I do need to work on with my show quilts, was I think that was something else they mentioned, that my sashing was needed improvement. And it was probably because I didn't press as much as I needed to. So we shall see. I'm just bad.
You're not bad, Sean. You're real. You're a real quilter.
I get my way. This is Burger King quilting, you know. I have it my way. Oh, is it Donna's turn tonight for the 12 days of quiltmas? I can't keep up with who's doing what each night. I know Tracy started. I think Becca's been. Fallon was last night. So yeah, if you sounds like Donna's quiltmas quilt's coming out tonight. So check that out when I think it's 6:30 p.m. Eastern that they do that each night. And I always do appreciate everyone's comments and suggestions. I do need to be more, I do agree, I do need to be more focused on pressing, and maybe I'll go ahead and put my, turn my iron on in a minute and actually do that and be a good boy. Because I'll probably become a better quilter because of it, I'm sure. I always just forget about it. I get so, you know, part of it too is I just get into a zone. I'm like, so, and I forget to press. So, yeah.
For ironing, I don't like ironing, but as far as like, if I'm trying to get something together to where I can visually see it, because my mind doesn't visually see something like this until I get it together, I do get in a hurry and then I don't press. So,
Right.
I finger press a lot, but I don't take it to the iron maybe until I get the block done. So I'm guilty of that too.
I might go it. Where is my iron? Here it is. I love my little iron. I got this cool little steam press one because I have a bigger steam press to do yardage and everything else. So I only need a small one. So I got this one early this year from my friend Stephanie from her shop. All right, I'm gonna be back in a minute. Apparently, Copper and Finley are in the trash can yet again. I didn't think there was anything in the trash can. All right, well, I just threw on Copper's day because now the trash can that's empty is sitting up on the counter, so he can't get to it now. Does anybody want a beagle?
We have cats, so I'm going to say no here. No beagle.
Oh, he's already fished stuff out of the trash can, apparently. I see a empty brownie box from earlier this week. All right, Jim says he likes pressing better than squaring up. Brenda says that little steam press is her hubby's favorite. Fallon says silly pups. Oh, Danny is here. Good morning. She has to work this morning, but wanted to pop in and say good morning. Hope to see you both on Sunday. Yes, we will be. Well, I'll be around. Yeah, I'll be around tomorrow. Every day till Christmas, you'll see me. So,
Danny, I love your live stream. I look forward to Sunday mornings. I love your live stream.
I do too. And and I think I've mentioned this before. The thing I love about her live streams is A, Danny's just a fantastic lady. And B, she has something set up, I think, through Streamlabs where you earn what they call thimbles, and you can play like different games to earn, like you can play slots with it, or duels and heists, and it's just a lot of fun. So not only do you get to enjoy Danny's wonderful personality, you get to play games and do all that sort of stuff as well. So it's very, very entertaining. So if you haven't checked out her lives, definitely check it out. She goes live, I think, at, is it 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern? I think that's what it is. But yeah, she's a lot of fun. So definitely check that out as well. Um, the only thing with the cat, having the dogs rather than the cats is I don't have to worry about them climbing my Christmas tree.
Oh yeah. Well, all of our cats are outside, so
Oh, it makes it easier.
but some of them are kittens, and with electronics today, you have to be corded to charge, and that's not a good scenario either. The cats like to chew cords.
Well, so does Finley. She
Oh no.
not anymore, thankfully, but yeah, we had some humidifiers that she decided the copper inside was very, very tasty. So yeah, she chewed the cords off those. So I had to buy 3 new units in a year.
Now we did have a cat. The cat is now with my son. Her name was Kiki. She
Hmm.
was a stray that I found actually at my job, and I brought her home. Beautiful cat, but I have a lamp, and there was something about that lamp cord that was tasty, and we had it plugged in and on one day, and she was chewing in it, and all of a sudden you heard wow. So I think it bit her. But she's not here anymore. She's with my son. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes they got to learn the hard way.
yeah.
Oh, let's see. Okay, apparently Danny said she tickled the like button. I think it likes me. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Those likes and comments and that, I just can't express how much they mean to me as a content creator. And I'm sure everybody else that is a content creator would tell you exactly the same thing. Because we do it for you. I mean, it's not, none of us make a fortune from it. Um, I'm nowhere close to being able to do this full time. So, it's not because I'm making enough money. So I do love it for you guys. If I ever got to a point where I didn't enjoy it, um, I would quit for sure. All right. So Danny says she has to head out to work.
Bye, Danny.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And hopefully, if all goes well, I'll see you on your live tomorrow. Well, apparently, they've found some, now they're chewing on some other plastics. So, yeah, if
I
anybody wants,
work. Sorry.
if anyone wants a beagle, hit me up.
I my 40-hour a week job. I have 1 week to go, and then I'm off for 3 weeks, and I can't wait.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I'm taking a little vacation, and then also with the Christmas holiday, and this time of year is I love this time of year because it makes me realize how much of my week I dedicate towards my job,
Mhm.
just from simple things of getting up at a certain time and then coming home at a certain time, which then rushes supper, and the time is just all rushed, and that rush completely goes away. And I so enjoy being around family and being here at the house, and of course it allows more time for me to sew. I just love it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I have any time planned off between now and the end of the year, but we'll just have to see how busy it is. I might take some. I have plenty of time to use. Okay, so Donna says she has to go back to her sew thing that she's doing. I'm not sure exactly what she's up to, but she's always up to something. So, but I'm so glad she was able to hang out with us for a little while and say hi. And then, yeah, she has her premiere at 6:30 tonight, where she reveals her quilt as part of the 12 Days of Quiltness, which has been a lot of fun. I haven't watched as many of those as I should, but I will try and get to that sometime tonight if at all possible.
Those videos are amazing. They take that ugly fabric and they have it make magic. It is magic.
Yeah. Yeah, they've all done a really, really good job on that. And then there's like a secret word for each day. And if you get all 12, you can actually enter to win all 12. Well, one of the 12 quilts. I mean, I think it's one, each channel's doing it separately. And you can only win one quilt. So it's not like if your name comes up 3 times, you win 3 quilts. But yeah, you have basically have 12 chances to win if you enter in all 12 things. So yeah, definitely go check that out. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Jim says he bought a bag of fabric at a thrift store a while back. Turned out to be an unfinished quilt top, needed repairing, and I need to try and match fabric to finish it. Yeah, that'd be fun to see if you how you do with that. You know, if you want to share photos with us, I would love to see that. I always love seeing everybody's projects. Okay, so Nancy says no to having the beagle. Her dachshund is enough. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. He's usually a good boy. He just likes to get into the trash. I don't know why. Not like I don't feed him. Let's see. Nancy also says, good morning, Sean and everyone. Been here for a while, but I'm on my way out to have breakfast. Just wanted to say hi and tell you how much I enjoyed your show. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Stephen says, retirement is great. My time to do is as I want. However, I've never been busier. And that's what I keep hearing. And him and I talked about that a couple of weeks ago on my live here when he was my guest. So yeah, those of you that think that retirement is where you just get to sit on your tail and do nothing, yes, that's always an option. But yeah, a lot of folks that are retired are busier than when they're working. But like you said, you get to do what you want. So, which for me will be quilting when I retire, like 75 years from now. All right. And Stephanie and Stephen have been doing a collab together for Quiltmasses or Chris Vlogmas, whatever it's called, this year as well. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely head over and check those out as well. That's been a lot of fun to see as well. Stephanie's doing Vlogmas, and she's been putting out a fun video each day. So yeah, so much good stuff to see right now. You will not be bored. All right, we're getting closer. All right, Amy says she's behind the chat, but beagles need a job to do in order to reduce destructive behavior. There's a good tracking playtime that works well. He's usually pretty good. He just likes to get in the trash. It's like I don't feed him enough. But you look at his rotund self, he's definitely not malnourished. Janine says that every time I make a fabric purchase, my hubby says I'm prepping for my retirement. I like that. I'm going to have to use that excuse too. But Amanda and I kind of have an unwritten agreement that she can't say anything about my fabric purchases, and I can't say anything about her yarn purchases. She said that one of the best days in her life was when I started quilting, was so that way I couldn't say anything else about her fabric purchases. So yeah, but I think I'm better behaved. And then she's also doing a Vlogmas each day as well. So if you enjoy knitting, definitely head over and check out Amanda's channel. She is Dog Mom Knits. And I'll put the link in because I think Donna's wandered off. Let's see if that's the right one. There it is. Yeah. So her channel link is there. So yeah, if you like knitting, definitely go check her out and show her some support. She'll greatly appreciate that. All right, if I remember correctly, Victoria Stillwell's the one who shows how to do it. He's just doing his job, track and fine. That's why he's getting in the. Well, I need to give him a new job, apparently.
Yeah, aren't beagles notorious for having excellent sniffers? So maybe that's why he is getting in the trash.
Yeah, probably. Nancy says she retired 5 years ago, and 2 weeks later, I picked up another full-time job. My dad did that too. He retired, and about 3 months later, he picked up another job. So I don't know. All I know is when I retire, I'm not doing that. So Amy says my Dachshunds would benefit from the same game. It's fun to watch them hunt. Bandit does not. He doesn't seem interested in the trash. Now Finley is right there with Copper. When they're in the trash, Finley's right there, but she's also half beagle. So but Finley does like to go out in the backyard and dig holes and look for moles. He did actually capture one earlier this year.
Some people would want that dog just for that.
Yeah. No, I thought it was funny. Like we had to get our HVAC system replaced earlier this year, and when they brought the new unit in the backyard, I warned the guys. I said, just watch out. This backyard is a minefield. You know, she's probably got about 45 holes out there. But she hasn't been digging as much recently, so I think the moles have figured out she's there, ready to get them, so they've moved on. Probably the neighbors' problem now. Brenda says, "Good dog who gets moles." Yes, she's a good girl. She's she has a moment, but she's starting to settle down. She's almost 2, and I think she's kind of getting the puppy stage out of her, and now she can be a good girl. So how are you progressing along with your project, Dawn?
Well, it looks like I've got another segment sewn. I'm working on the last seam sewing here, and I've got all this connected now, so I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, excellent.
It's slow though because I'm all doing it by hand, but it's getting there.
Oh,
I
that's neat.
think sorry.
Amy says here that she used to assist a person from the state agriculture department find good beagles at the shelter for keeping the geese off the runway at the airport. That is so neat. I didn't realize they use beagles.
Wow, that is neat.
Yeah, I've seen them use like what is it, like eagles or hawks or something. They've used those at some airports, but I didn't realize they didn't use beagle. Finley loves chasing birds, so yeah. If our airport ever starts looking for somebody, I might have to rent Finley out to him once in a while. Yeah, she used to like chasing the squirrels, but they've all kind of taken off. I haven't seen a squirrel in their backyard in months. I think she's kind of told them this is her territory, but the birds still keep coming back. So, all right, Stephanie says she has to run. Hope you all have a great day and happy sewing. Thank you for joining us, Stephanie. I know you're a busy lady always, but I'm glad you decided to spend a little bit of time with us. All right, so let's see. We've got 5th row on. Can I? There we go. Done to look nice. Okay. Okay, so now we start off with this. And that one. Okay. We're also quiet today. All right. Good morning, Martha. Am I too late to the party? No. And actually, Martha is actually going to be, we're doing a collab together where we are opening the cotton cuts your way each night. And that's been a lot of fun. And then she's actually going to be my very special guest next week on here on the live. So that's going to be fun hanging out with her next week. So yeah, definitely check out her channel. She's fairly new. She's been doing her channel for about 6 months, I believe it is, and she's just a fun lady. So if you haven't checked out her channel, it is, I'm going to put her link in just a second. Yeah, I think she's at about 180, 283 subscribers. So she's getting closer to a 200 mark, which is really, really neat. And then, yeah, we've been having a blast opening the cotton cuts things each night as well. So yeah, definitely head over and check her channel out. And I just put the link in the chat as well for you guys if you haven't seen her yet. So and then you're getting fairly close to is it almost 700?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually last Friday, Becca was on, but I saw someone else was live and I had not subscribed to their channel, and it's called Crystal. I now don't remember the name of the channel, but I went on there and she asked if anybody was a content creator, and I said I was. And so she promoted me on her channel that night, and I think I got 13 subscribers off her, and that was not the plan. I just showed up out of curiosity. She does scrap quilts like I do, so yeah, she's got a subscriber for life now.
Yeah, who was it? Kristen?
No, her name is Crystal.
Okay.
Hang on, let me get my iPad and I'll look.
Okay.
What is
Well,
it
I think
called?
it's Kristen at Scrap Fabric Love, who I've had here before, and she's a fantastic lady, but it sounds like it's someone different. Crystal Hart, is that who it is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Fallon and Martha are saying it's Crystal Hart.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen her channel yet. I'll have to duck over and take a look at that later. Maybe she'd like to come and visit one morning and hang out with me.
She
I'm
may.
always,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have to reach out to her. Yeah, take a look, and maybe I'll reach out to her. I mean, I always love having new guests. I mean, I love having, yeah, some of my guests, a lot of my guests come back. I mean, everyone's always welcome to come back and visit me a second, third, fourth, 20th time. But yeah, it's always fun to see these new folk that we may not hear about, because there's so many of us out there that we can't possibly know all about them ourselves. So Fallon says there's so many great quilt creators on here, and I totally agree. And Fallon is definitely one of those. She is actually, like, if she wasn't the first one that I started watching, she was very, very close to that. All right. Yeah, I'm very happy of how I've been able to get this done so far. Okay, so snowball. Snowball.
And I have bent my needle at some point. I didn't even know that was possible, but I guess because these are such fine needles, it's easy to do. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I have bent it.
Whoops. Yeah, I'd probably do
And it's
something
just
like,
it's just a hand sewing needle. I thought machine needles bent. I didn't know these bent.
yeah, maybe you got a dud.
Maybe I have a death grip on it and need to relax.
Maybe it's giving you a sign. Yeah, and I just love how supportive and everything else that this community is. Like, it's not something I was expecting, but it's just wonderful how supportive we are of each other.
Yeah.
All right, Martha says, oops, I did that last night. Donna would be so proud I finally changed my needle. I need to do that too.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I have plenty of needles. I just always forget to change them. So I have no excuse except for my own forgetfulness and laziness. But have you ever broken a needle, like in a machine?
Yes.
Okay.
Took it
I'm
all
glad not-
apart to get it out. Yes. And the funny thing is, it doesn't happen on my old machines. It only happens on my new machines. My old machines will bend a needle, but they won't break.
Yeah.
But my new machines that are made of plastic, they tend to break the needles. But my metal machines don't break the needles. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. Thankfully, I think the only time I've ever broken needles is when I was careless and yeah, I used my 1/4 inch foot, and then I decided to do a zigzag stitch on it. So I hit some
Oh,
metal.
yeah.
Yeah, and then bang, and then you're like, oh, you silly fool. What is wrong with you? Okay.
So my daily sewing machine is actually my featherweight. I don't know how many thousands of yards of thread I have ran through that machine, but I am just so impressed with its little mightiness. And the only time I get out my other machines is if I need to use even walking foot. I don't even have to do that with this old Singer. I can actually just stitch the binding on with no problem.
Oh, no.
But every now and then I need a decorative stitch, or I need to sew like jersey knit, which the old machines do not sew. They'll sew it, but they won't incorporate the stretch in the stitch. So I have to get out my Janome. And that machine, compared to the featherweight, that machine, it stitches beautifully, but the head of it is so bulky that you can't see what you're doing. That's why I like the vintage machines.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes the simple machines work well. Yeah, this thing has been a workhorse, and I just love it. Let's see. What was it? I think it was Becca that mentioned one time that she has a system where she winds up 6 or 7 bobbins and puts a new needle in, does the 6 or 7 bobbins, and then when those bobbins are out, she changes a needle. And I thought that was a really, really, really smart idea. I haven't done it, but I think it's a really good idea.
Very good idea.
Yeah. So that might be, but then again, I tend to change thread colors all the time. So I don't know that would work so well for me. Stephen says he cleans and oils after every major project. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you, Stephen.
I did
he's
that
also-
on my Janome. I don't do that on my Singer.
Yeah. Let's see. Blind broken needles are scary. Thankfully, when mine break, the thread stays in the eye, so it doesn't really go anywhere. So
Right.
I'm very, 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 very lucky for that. Debbie said she just cleaned out a machine and changed the needle in preparation for doing bulk cozies. They are a lot of fun. I really enjoy making those. Don't use titanium needles. I don't think I've ever used those. I just buy the universal needles from Schmidt or whatever the ones that everyone uses. Fallon says she's broken so many needles on her old machine because she forgot to change the needle position. Yeah, that's the issue I normally have too. So you are not alone. I think most people would admit to it or have at least done it and not just tell you.
those titanium needles are great for free motion quilting because they flex. And sometimes when you are moving your quilt or moving the head of your machine, you're wanting that flex of the needle. However, if you use that in a regular sewing machine, that's probably a bad thing. You don't want flex in your needle when you're just sewing a seam. He's right though. Those titanium needles can be tricky.
Okay,
That's what I use in my long arm. So
gotcha. Okay, see, I've never even heard of them. So,
and titanium. No, I'm thinking of platinum. Platinum being real expensive. Titanium, I'm not sure how expensive that is, but I think it's just a coating, or maybe it's not a coating. Maybe those are actually made and they're more flexible.
maybe, yeah. I don't know. If anyone is an expert on needles, let us know, but it's definitely not me. All right, Fallon says she hasn't broken any needles on a straight stitch machine, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. I just get in the habit now, if I do zigzag, I try and change it back straight before I do anything else. So that way it reduces the chance of me messing up again.
Okay, so I want to pose a question to the sewers in the chat.
Okay.
How many machines do you have?
Yeah, good question. I have 2.
Let's see.
And that's enough. People try to sell me more, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. I don't need any more.
I have 5, but I
Okay.
have an excuse to have those 5.
Hey, no problem. I like the idea of having 2, because that way, if I have to send one out to the shop, I'm not stuck with hand stitching.
So I've got my featherweight, and then I have my Janome. The Janome was a gift from my mother. It's a dual machine, so it does embroidery and stitching. But because I don't embroider, I don't really use that function of it. So I have that. And then my grandmother, when I was like, I'm thinking I was 10, my grandmother bought me a sewing machine, and I just can't part with that one. So I have that one. And my Janome, I have to take it in for maintenance, and if I don't sew on it, I don't take it in. Well, the bobbin winder on that one is notorious for going out. And so I bought like a Goodwill find of a Singer Merit machine, which I wind my bobbins on that machine whenever I have the other one out, which was kind of dumb because I have all these other machines that would wind bobbins. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So let's see. And then I have a 1920 domestic 69. I salvaged that from a thrift store, and it was pretty in bad shape, and I got it going, and I don't really want to part with it because I mean, it's just so neat that something that old can stitch as fast as it does. And I'm just amazed that it still works, and it's 100 years old.
Yeah, but they made them to last then, like something that's 100 years old, like a sewing machine. I'm not at all surprised that it's still alive and kicking, like.
So the sewing machine industry back a long time ago would hire the gunsmiths, people who would make the precision parts of the guns.
Huh?
And that's how some of the sewing manufacturers came to be. And I think it was the White Company. And I don't remember what year it was. It was in the 1800s sometime where they were actually manufacturing several things, and they realized their precision guys could actually make the parts for the machine. And so they got into the sewing machine business. And I think that's why the old machines work so well, because the tolerances of the metal and everything is so close that there's no room for failure in it. And because it's made of metal, it's not going to fail unless you don't take care of it.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. So it looks like your number 5 is about average.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to feel bad. Like apparently I need to go to the store and buy a couple more. Fallon has 4, Kathy has 5, Christine has 3. So apparently her and I need to catch up. Stephen has 3 machines, 2 sergers, 1 cover stitch, 2 embroidery machines. Okay, so yeah, apparently if you need a new machine, go visit Steve. Jeannie E has 2 and a serger. Pepsi Girl has 6. Debbie has 4. Quilting Compound has 4. She corrected herself. She has 5. Brenda has 5. Martha has 2. So apparently, Martha and I'll just need to team up. We'll just call that 4. Let's see. And then Fallon was telling Stephen his sewing space is amazing, and I totally agree with that. Maddie has 5 machine and 2 sergers. Jeannie has 4, including the long arm, and Sean at Mo Lasagna has 2. So yeah, I think the 2 Seans and Martha can band together and make 6. So that way we're keeping up with the rest of the Joneses.
I would really like to go live on my channel. That was my intent, but I haven't had any interest in this because we all have our sewing machine where it does this one little thing, and that little thing drives you crazy, whether it nests the stitches when you start stitching on the back, or the needle pushes the fabric down into the skid plate, or and I really, really want to do a live on how to help people overcome those things. But I have not had, no one seems interested in that, or no one wants help with their machine, or no one has spoke up on my, in the comments of the teas I put out. So I have not, that was my intention to do that at the end of this month. I have all the time in the world. I could just do questions and answers, where if you tell me what your machine, hey, it's doing this, we can try and figure it out. Because I do go into the Discord forum, and I don't remember what that one's called. But I'll just see where, hey, why is my sewing machine doing this? And I'll look at it, and it may not be obvious. So I'll have to ask, okay, what is this machine? And then I'll go fetch the manual online, because most sewing manuals are online. And then I'll read up on it and say, okay, it's probably not this. Okay, where's your needle position? Because she was doing a zigzag where it would zigzag like this and then zigzag like that, but it would only do it on one side. And then it would sew straight. And everybody else in the forum was like, oh, you need to take it in to get it serviced. And my first question was, have you ever sewn on this machine before? And she said, no, it's my mom. So it was clear she didn't know what she was doing. So it's possibly that it was operator error, and that's what it turned out to be, where she just needed to change her needle position, and then it sewed fine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I go in the forums and I try and help people, but no one has really presented anything that I can go on YouTube with, so I haven't done it. I don't know if that sounds great to anybody else, but I know through the years of the frustrations of some of the things that my sewing machines have done, most of it was probably me.
Yeah. And I've just been lucky. Like, my machines they just go. Like, I have very few problems with them. And like you said, usually when mine has an issue, it's operator error, or the thread slipped somewhere. Yeah, the top thread has slipped a little bit, and then I just rethread it, and then often reason I go again. But I love that you are that resource that I know if something goes wrong, I mean, you'll be the first person I call.
Yes, any of you have sewing machine problems, even your long arm machine, let me know, because my job trade is I'm a technician, and that can be wiring and it can be mechanical stuff. So there's usually a reason for it. Sometimes it's operator error, and sometimes it is a failure of the machine. But yeah, reach out to me, because I want to help people. I know whenever I was young and my grandma bought me the machine, she set that machine up, and then later on, when she came to visit or whatever, I'd be like, Grandma, my machine's doing this and I don't know what's wrong. And of course, the machine was a 1960 machine, and we're in the 80s. So I didn't have a manual. And she knew exactly what to do with that machine. And I was just in total awe. How did she know to do that? Well, it's experience. Her just messing with machines her whole life, she knew exactly what adjustment needed to be made because of her experience. And now I'm there. I'm totally there. So, and yeah. I guess I guess she was probably a little bit older than me whenever that occurred. So, but I'm there, so I know how to. If you're sewing and your machine will not sew a straight line and it wants to arc, your presser foot is too much. It's too much pressure on your presser foot. Or if you're running two pieces of fabric in the machine and the top fabric always wants to scoot and you can never line up your pieces, loosen your presser foot pressure. It's either a knob at the top, or it's a button, or it's a push down. It's some kind of knob at the top. Read your manual. It'll get you there.
Yep. And then Martha came up with a really good idea for you as well, Dawn. She said maybe create a video of the top 3 sewing machine issues.
Oh, yes, that's an excellent idea.
I love that. Maybe expand it, maybe do 5 or 10. But I mean, that's the sort of thing that people start searching for, like, top 5 sewing machine issues. I think that's a fantastic idea. And I think if you put that out there, you could start off with that and say, okay, these are the top 5 things that you may come across and how to fix it. And then put at the end, if you need additional help, I can be reached out, and do it that way. And that might be a way for people to get to know that you can do this.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Martha. I think
yes, thank you, Martha.
Yeah, and she said it'll be a video to be Googled on YouTube for a long time to come. And I totally agree with that. That's kind of what I was saying. So yeah, definitely reach out to Dawn. She's such a lovely lady and she wants to help. And I think it's just a matter of us getting the word out there, because I don't think there's a huge number of people that know that she wants to do it. So yeah, please do that. And yeah, do that video. I think that'll be a great resource for so many of us.
So yesterday, I had finished the bobbin that was in my featherweight, and so I rewound another bobbin, put it in, and the thing with my featherweight is either you're going to know you're going to nest the minute you step on the foot pedal, or you're just going to sew right through. And for whatever reason, that first stitch, it nested all up, and it was me. It was operator error, because I had just reloaded the machine. On older machines, sometimes if you hold the thread tails, or if you have them coming to the front of the machine, it gets tangled up, and it was me. I was careless. I did not make sure my thread tails were behind the cloth. And then my machine started making this. It was like it was weak. Like I was sewing and it just didn't sound right. And I'm like, oh my God, did the nesting break my machine? I'm like, no, it can't be. And what had happened is the knob on the inside of the hand wheel on the right side, I had not engaged it all the way. So it was still trying to spin bobbin with the belt plus run the motor for the stitching. And it just sounded weird. So you have to pay attention to how your machine sounds. If it sounds weird, stop and really pay attention. Where have you been in the last 5 minutes to make that noise? So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Fallon says too to you, Dawn, that once you get the video up, let her know and she'll share it on her Facebook group and let everyone know as well. So yeah, we'll definitely band together and get the word out, because I think that's probably why you haven't got a whole lot of response, because we just haven't got the word out yet. So yeah, we'll definitely help you out in that aspect, because that's just a wonderful resource that I think a lot of us will definitely tap into over time.
Thank you, Fallon. I will definitely reach out to you.
All right, Stephen says he has to run. Yeah, he's got his in-person sew along today. So I hope you have a good time with that, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen.
Yep, I will chat with you later on tonight or tomorrow. Stephen's always a lot of fun. Yeah, we may go ahead and wrap this up in just a few minutes, because I've got a million things to do on my list today as well. I usually try and keep these about an hour and a half. All right, but I'm just going to show you all just a second this. I think I've got 3 rows done during this live, so that's really good. Usually I say, okay, I'm going to do this much, and then I end up doing half of it. So, oh, you need to sit right there. You can go down here.
Well, this is all I've got done today, so.
Yeah, but yours is a little more intricate to mine, so I wasn't expecting you to get a whole quilt top done.
No, I've set my goal to just sew. I'm not setting it to get done. That's for sure.
Yep, so starting to come together quite nicely.
Bye, Sean.
Thank you, Fallon. She says, I love your quilt. Yeah, Sean says he has to run from the moldy lasagna. So, yeah, I think we might go ahead and wrap this up. Move the camera just a little bit. I want to thank everybody for coming to join us today. It's been fun hanging out with all of you. I hope you all have a, get your sewing done and everything else. Janine says she has to run as well. So yeah, I'll put my next Vlogmas post out tonight. I try and do it around 8:30 p.m. Eastern, but yeah, kind of varies based on when I get it recorded and processed and all that good stuff. I think I've ranged from 8:30 to 10:15 each night. So yeah, I make no promises what time that'll be up. Podcast tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock as per usual. Martha will have her collab with me. I think it's at 7:45 p.m. Eastern tonight. And then yeah, check out the Quiltmas thing that then it's Donna's turn tonight. Check out Fallon's if you didn't watch that last night. There's so much to see. Just go check it all out and see what suits you. Do you have anything planned on your channel anytime soon, Dawn?
Okay, so I started filming prairie points, continuous prairie points. I've got a little bit of footage covered for that. I plan on uploading a video in the next week on how to do that, and then actually make a quilt with nothing but continuous prairie points. So
all right, excellent. Yeah, so check that out and check out Dawn's channel if you haven't already done so, because she does a lot of fun stuff. And I think you will enjoy it. So yeah, definitely go over there and support her, like the videos, subscribe if it's the content is something that you enjoy. But yeah, I think we'll say, and then yeah, the Quilting Compound is check out her channel as well. I haven't had a chance to check out a lot of it, but I hear very, very good things and need to go spend a little bit of time over there in the very near future. If you want to, yeah, and I'll probably be in touch with them soon as well. So that'll be great. All right.
thank you, Fallon.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll see you next time. If I don't go now, we'll be here saying goodbye for the next 20 minutes. I have a nasty habit of doing that. So you'll have a good day, and we'll see you on the next video as soon as I hit the